Hello and welcome back to my channel. This video is so late because it took forever to edit. Then I got sick and couldn't do a voiceover without having a coughing fit every 5 seconds, but I'm better now, and now that that's all over, today I'm going to be doing a personal ranking of K-pop releases from the first quarter of this year. Just a couple of disclaimers: I will not be taking B-sides or OSTs into consideration, but if an artist had 2 promotional songs, a pre-release, or dual title tracks, I will be looking at both. And a reminder, this is just my opinion based on my listening experience and personal taste, so if your fave isn't here, or I ranked it low, chill. Now, let's get started.
What I run.
I wouldn't call myself a lullet, but I definitely listen to Cherry Bullet a lot more than most girl groups, and I was really hyped for this comeback, but this song just didn't do it for me. I feel like it tried to be a bit on the girl crush side as opposed to their usual cute concept, and they just didn't pull it off as well as when they did Hands Up. This is for sure my least favorite title track from them, and it wasn't even that the song was horrible, I just think that going from Love in Space to Play on the World was a major downgrade. However, the B-sides on this album were 10 out of 10.
I'd rather be lost in the light, lost in the light. I'm out of my mind.
I don't have much to say about this one. There's nothing in particular I dislike about it. I just think the style of the song wasn't my thing.
The devil said, give me more, give me more.
MOAs, please don't be mad at me. I'm just not a fan of this comeback. The aesthetic of the concept was very beautiful, and as always, the members' talents shone through amazingly, but I think since it was released, I've listened to this song in its entirety maybe twice. The song as a whole was fun, but not particularly impactful to me, and I usually love a good anti-drop, but the chorus just fell short for me, and I just did not get the same sugar rush that everyone else seemed to be riding when this came out.
it's sour and it's sweet. Sometimes I could be more than what you see.
I feel like my response for a lot of these songs is just, it's fine, just not as good as their last comeback. And I don't want to be repetitive, but that's exactly how I feel about this song. It was just missing that Bam Bam flair that makes his songs so fun to listen to. And that's not to say that I was expecting something like Ribbon, because Who Are You and Slow Mo have similar vibes to Sour and Sweet, but those songs pulled you into the music, making you excited to hear it. And Sour and Sweet, while still tolerable to listen to, just didn't have that factor.
Can I be your love? I really wanna love. 뚫어지게 봐도 끝도 없다고.
I like this song. It's cute, easy to listen to, but just not mind-blowing. In fact, it reminds me a lot of Youngjae's song Beautiful off his first album, just less bouncy. I like this song a lot more than most of Yugyeom's solo tracks, but that's not saying a lot since I really only love like a couple of them. Ponytail is catchy, Yugyeom's voice is really pretty when he sings, and I think Shike was a smart feature, but the song just felt like a B-side to me. I'd listen to it on shuffle, but I don't see myself going out of my way to play it often.
So this is my only question. What do you want with my head? You got my attention, it's starting to get a little invasive now.
Whenever people try to come from Mark's music saying it's boring or one of GOT7's weakest solos, I'm his #1 defender, but I am hanging back for this one. I could feel that Mark was trying to use some alternative elements in his song to give it a bit of a pop-punk-esque edge, and that was a great idea, but I wish he leaned into it more because it just ended up sounding like a couple of songs from his last album, just with more electric guitar. So not bad, just a little underwhelming. Now, I did listen to this debut largely because I'm a Hongjoong-biased 18 and heard about how much he participated in writing their album, but through this song, I did find a great appreciation for the individual Psychers members and the group as a whole, enough so that I'd tune into their next comeback. Tricky House sounded like a mix between a P1 Harmony title track and an ATEEZ B-side, specifically To The Beat and Siren, and I mean that in a good way. And the members are super energetic and captivating performers, and I took notice of their vocal and rap talent as well, and I think that all of those factors contributed to a pretty successful debut. What's funny for me is that liking Yena is very unexpected because she has very cute, bubbly concepts, and that's usually not my thing, but I love when she does it. And Love War was not cute, and stylistically speaking, was more up my alley, yet I was actually missing the cute, bright Yena that sang Smartphone and Smiley. But concept switch-ups can be a good thing, and it did suit her, as Yena is a very versatile artist, and just because I liked this comeback less does not mean I didn't like it at all. Yena's voice is great in R&B, and BO matched her vibe exquisitely. It's not bad, but I wouldn't put it in my list of favorite Dreamcatcher songs. The vocals are amazing as usual, it just doesn't stand out a whole lot, especially considering this is the song they named their tour after. This song feels very cinematic to me, and I'm a big fan of cinematic feeling songs, big, heavy instrumentals. It makes me feel like I'm watching an action trailer or listening to the background music during the climax of a movie. I like this song a lot better than Like Crazy. The music video is pretty cool, and Jimin's voice is amazing as usual. I just wish the chorus was a bit more lyric heavy. It's still pretty great though, and I enjoy it overall. ATEEZ makes pretty high quality Japanese songs, I won't lie about that. However, I don't think I've loved one of their original Japanese tracks since Still Here. Limitless overall, like many people have said, sounds a lot like an anime intro theme song, and I love that about it, and each member has parts that are really nice to listen to, and yet the chorus really ruins it for me. The song is such a smooth listen until it gets to the "We Gonna Be a Winner" part. Usually I don't let a certain part I dislike affect the way I appreciate the song, but when it's the chorus, aka the part of the song that's repeated the most and leaves the biggest impact, it's a little different.
Maybe I broke the light. The whiskey on the rack.
MJ doesn't make bad music. It's just a fact. Production-wise and vocally, most of the time it hits, and even when he misses those marks, he makes up for it with his hard-hitting lyrics. And Whiskey is one of those songs that honestly, while his voice sounds amazing and the song is well composed, it's very slow. A little too slow for me. However, I think the pace of the song is meant to reflect the lyrics and give off a drowsy, drunk feel, so while I don't think this song stands out to me as much as his other songs, I can't lie that Whiskey is still another genius product of JB's creative mind. It's good, but in comparison to Key's other title tracks, it falls a little short for me. I know that Killer is a repackage album of Gasoline, but it feels a lot like a B-side, which isn't necessarily an insult because I love Key's B-sides, but there's a reason why a song is chosen as a title track. To stand out, to set the tone for the album, and it just doesn't do either of those for me. However, it does feel like a combination of both Bad Love and Villain, which I love, and I do like the vibe of the song, and it is an easy listen. As someone who's trying to get into 17, I can confidently say that this is the song of theirs that has had one of the strongest impacts on me. Which is funny because DK Hoshi and Seungkwan aren't even the members at the top of my potential bias list, but they really caught my attention with this song. I can't really pick out specific parts of it to explain why I like it, I just think as a whole it's pretty good. The song is cute, so is the choreography, and the vocals were top tier, and okay, why was I not informed that DK is such a beautiful singer? Like, I swear some of you carrots are gatekeeping him. And not to mention, as a newer fan of Youngji, the fact that she has had a rap verse in this song only increased my enjoyment of it. So yeah, I love it. It's iconic. You don't have to like it, but you can't deny that this collaboration is one for the books. Taeyang and Jimin are vocal gods in the industry, and that proved itself to be true in this song. Was the song anything extraordinary in terms of uniqueness or originality? No, I think a person who didn't know who either singer was would be extremely impressed, but likely not think the song was any different from another mainstream hit. But at the end of the day, it was a hit, well written at that, with stellar vocals, a catchy hook, and very memorable choreography.
I need you, yeah, yeah, I need you, yeah, I need you too.
It worked as a pre-release, but I'm very glad it wasn't the title track. It's not a bad song by any means, but it screams favorite B-side. I will say I'm rather impressed at TNX's ability to switch it up from Move's strong, noise-ish music electro dance pop sound to this chiller KR&B kind of vibe. While their aesthetic when they debuted worked with Move's concept, I personally think their voices are very well suited for I Need You's concept. Dare I say this is an even better English release than the feels. As someone who's not a once and doesn't know the ins and outs of Twice's discography, I don't know if they've tackled a lot of R&B before, but the R&B elements showcased in Moonlight Sunrise really made me appreciate them a lot more. The feels had this high school rom-com vibe, whereas Moonlight Sunrise felt like a song off the soundtrack of a more mature, breathtaking love story. And I loved it.
Tell me honestly, baby, can you tell me easily 널 기다릴게 천천히 말해도 되니까 tell me love 인생 more honestly.
I did take a listen to this just because Limelight is iKON's new sister group, and Jinwon had a cameo in their music video, but honestly, I actually really loved it. The song felt simple, very commercial, definitely not experimental at all, and that's exactly what made it so good. Nowadays in K-pop, I think everyone is trying to do something chaotic or different just to stand out or have a marketable niche, but sometimes it's nice to listen to a song with a predictable, easy-to-follow melody, with sweet-toned vocalists, a cheesy cliché music video storyline, and cute choreography. And that's not to say it was dull at all. Those three girls, especially for being so young, are great dancers, they sing nice and have a likable vibe, and I just might stand the group. At the time I was first making this video, I ranked this song at mid-20-something, then as I kept listening to it, it rose to 18, but the fact that it's been on my on-repeat playlist on Spotify for a while now just proved to me that it deserved to be much higher.
Every time I work, every time I run, every time I move, as always for us.
I've said it before and I'll say it again, J-Hope is my favorite in terms of BTS solo releases, and On the Street did not disappoint. Lyrically, it conveys a beautiful message, but even without understanding the Korean lyrics, the simplicity yet straightforwardness of the English chorus combined with J-Hope's soothing voice and the chill melody is a perfect recipe for a go-to comfort song. Usually, I'm pretty wary of Western collabs in K-pop because they can be hit or miss, but I think J. Cole was a great addition to this track. I'm not too sure that his verse matched the rest of the song, to be honest. It felt a little out of place, but I do think his actual voice and flow matches the tone of the song and J-Hope well, so it worked. I think my main issue with the song was that it was too short. I wish J-Hope rapped another verse. I just wanted more.
Feels so high like the sky. 하늘을 나는 기분이야, I can fly.
If I was ranking Jin Young's album as a whole, this would have been in my top 5 for sure, but since I'm only looking at Cotton Candy, which is actually my least favorite song on the album, it's staying at 11. Now, just because it's my least favorite on the album doesn't mean I dislike it at all. I just mean that Jin Young is so talented that this entire album is a no-skip and has no bad songs. It's just that Cotton Candy is the one I love less so than the others. It has a very fluffy and whimsical feel, a lot like Cotton Candy, and Jin Young's sweet singing and falsettos matched with a soft melody makes the song feel like a joyous stroll through the park. My favorite on the album would probably be Sleep Well and Animal, but that's just because I prefer hearing Jin Young's voice in OST-like ballads, but that's not to say he doesn't kill it at the soft pop genre either.
영원히 태양 바람 푸른 비와 바다로 봄과 여름 가을 겨울 사이로.
Controversial opinion, but I feel like a lot of Onu's music doesn't meet the quality expectations that his vocal caliber and strength set. But this is the first song I believe actually does. There's something almost holy or sacred about the feeling of this song, and Onu's voice also gives that feeling and it matches it really well. This is not the type of song you would necessarily listen to just because or when it comes on shuffle, because it almost feels too special to be subjected to just another song on a playlist. Rather, it's the type of song that you would search for when you need it. I feel like the message is so simple yet profound, and the actual instruments feel very epiphanic, and Onu's voice, even if you're not listening to the lyrics, portrays itself as though they're always singing something with a deep meaning. He has one of those rare voices that never fails to touch your soul, and Circle, in my opinion, is the song that has best showcased that. I also believe it got him his first music show win, and it is extremely well-deserved. To put this in perspective, Bobby is a famed rapper who won the legendary competition Show Me the Money, being the only idol to win to this day. Known for his hit songs You Mad, Hole Up, and YGGR #hiphop, and yet his long-awaited comeback after leaving his company and entering a new one and new era was an emotional track akin to a pop ballad with not a single rap verse, but longing vocals singing beautifully and intelligently written lyrics comparing a lover's fleeting presence in his life to that of cherry blossoms that take away spring, and in said lover's absence he can only reminisce and regret. He did that, and that's all the explanation needed. So if I thought Moonlight Sunrise was good, Set Me Free is 10 times better. Not only do I love the cinematic music video, but the song as a whole, from the melody to the choreography, has the kind of infectious impact that can't help but stay with you. It's beyond catchy. It's constantly stuck in my head. If I even think of the song for a little bit, or even just a Twice member in general, I can imagine the performance playing out. And that's not to say I'm subjecting it to being just another catchy song, because a song can be catchy without being inherently good objectively. But this song has both catchiness and quality and a feeling of classiness. Twice has been in the industry for so long and is beloved by so many fans and idols alike, and Set Me Free is only evidence that all of that praise and acclaim is deserved. I want to give this song verbal acclaim, but I feel like if you just listen to it, you'll understand why I love it so much. English K-pop tracks can be very hit or miss, but I can say with full confidence that this is one of my favorite original English K-pop tracks of all time, and if you don't stand ONEWE or have plans to in the near future, get your priorities in order. Like, please.
Why don't you know? Can you see? 이거 없이 너를 사로잡을 타이밍 네 눈에 비친 privacy 다 나로 담아 네 맘에 see.
So, unlike other K-pop stans who might have known him from New East or 101, my Minhyun journey started when I fell in love with Yul from Alchemy of Souls. I learned of his idol background soon after, and when I heard about his solo debut, I knew I had to tune in, and am I so glad I did. This might have to be my favorite solo debut since Yena's Smiley, which is saying a lot. While 101 and New East are unfortunately disbanded, I've become such a fan that I'm probably going to check out their music and definitely tune in to Minhyun's comeback. There are levels to understanding why this song deserves to be ranked so high. Because yes, Yeonjun is a beautiful singer and talented songwriter, but the audacity and no pun intended fearlessness it takes such a young woman to deliver this poignant yet powerful message about the K-pop industry is an act alone that deserves high praise. Yeonjun's words aren't new information, but rarely are idols themselves, let alone female idols, allowed to convey those feelings transparently without backlash. And that's not to say that she didn't receive some backlash, I'm sure she did, but I think more positivity than negativity came out of this more than anything. Yeonjun said that she wants to change the idol industry, and with this song, she's already doing so. It's Monsta X. I mean, that should be reason enough. But for me, it's the fact that this track is so chaotic. It's wild and loud, and yet none of it feels incohesive. It stays true to the dark circus theme in the music video in the sense that it's so extra, but that's the point. Also, bonus points because IAM's rap in here is just so good.
You got me drowning in your love. Drowning, I'm drowning, I'm drowning in your love. Drowning, I'm drowning, I'm drowning in your love.
What I loved about this song, which I mentioned in my video unboxing this album, check it out later, is that it felt like a combination of both of Bobby's prior solo albums. The actual melody of the song feels very playful and light, like it came off of the Love and Fall album, yet the tastefully brazen concept and lyrical sensuality was so reminiscent of his last album, Lucky Man. Drowning was the perfect harmony between two significant sides of Bobby as an artist. The rough and rowdy one, stemming from his show me the money rapper roots that ties rhythm and rhymes together cleverly and cunningly, and the softer, sweeter side we see in the idol version of him that understands how to play with genre to make a marketable and likable mainstream track. This comeback, including Cherry Blossoms, felt calculated and formulaic, but not at all lacking that unique Bobby flavor that sets him apart from other idol rappers and music artists in general. The word that comes to mind when I think of this comeback is smart. When you have an artist debuting with as bold and audacious of a song as Move, there is no choice but for its comeback to be anticipated with high expectations. It's hard to go up when you've already started so high with seemingly all your cards out, and yet Love or Die not only met expectations, but dare I say, exceeded them. The reason I say this comeback is smart is because TNX managed to switch concepts while maintaining the same feel, which is pretty hard to do. Like I said earlier, Move had a noisy electro-pop sound and a dark futuristic concept, whereas Love or Die explored both the hip-hop and pop-rock genres, with a school bad boy concept. However, in both songs, the consistent theme is the boy's confidence, edge, and rebellious vibe. So even though they took a new route musically and aesthetically, it didn't feel like a shocking switch-up. This song was stuck in my head for weeks when it released, and frankly, it comes back to me quite often even now. Where was Purple Kiss's first win for this song? Someone tell me. I lose my mind. I waste hours of my day wondering why the K-pop community as a collective whole wasn't obsessed with this song like I was, am, and will be. This song is, if I could describe it in one word, hypnotizing. The haunting sound of the song mixed with their angelic voices, killer dancing, and that Hotel de Luna-like concept, it's perfection. I mean, Swan and Goen's ad-libs during the last chorus, Yuki's rap, and that part at the end, I truly believe this is their best title track, maybe best song in general since their debut, which is saying a lot since they've been releasing hits throughout their career. I know everyone has their own tastes and preferences, likes and dislikes, but if you haven't heard this song, listen to it now. And if you have, and you don't love it, I'm high-key judging you. Just kidding. Okay, maybe just low-key judging you. It is no surprise that I'm picking an SF9 song as my favorite from this first quarter, but for all the non-fantasies, let me tell you what makes this song different from other SF9 comebacks. This song is produced, composed, and written largely by the group's main rapper, Zuho. SF9 members are not new to creating their own discography, but it's a phenomenon that's only occurred with their B-sides and maybe just some lyrical aspects of their title tracks, so this is a huge milestone. Zuho's music-making style is one that utilizes attention-grabbing sounds and memorable phrases and/or melodies that worked so much in their favor with Puzzle, especially with that signature sound that matches the footwork before the chorus, as if emulating turning gears and the sound of things clicking into place like a puzzle. What I also love that Zuho did intentionally was seeing to it that each member was heard well in this song. This was not line distribution made in a participation points kind of way that a lot of fans mean when they say they want fair line distribution, but in making sure that each member sang or rapped in a memorable or impactful way. This line distribution worked to serve the song, and in turn, it served the fans as well. Not to mention the dancing, the multiple killing points in the choreography. It honestly really angers me that SF9 doesn't have better social media influence because this song had so much potential for virality just based on the choreography alone. Overall, the song is dark, like Trauma, classy, like Good Guy, refreshing, like Summer Breeze, and sad yet sensual, like Teardrop, but most of all, like what SF9 is most, it's sensational. That was all for ranking of K-pop releases from the first quarter of 2023. I did not think it was going to be that long, but there were a lot of good comebacks this season, so thank you for sticking around if you did. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more like this. I will be back with more videos and a part 2 for summer releases, so see you next time.
The sky is way too